First off, I want to say how proud I am of my leader, the sponsor of this bill, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, my colleagues who have worked so hard on this bill, Brian Kavanaugh, Zelnor Myrie, the amazing staff work that went into this through endless statewide hearings and discussions and meetings. And I will say, honestly, I came here in 2002. I was basically drafted against my will to run. I was doing eviction prevention and anti-poverty work, but I recognized that we needed to change the housing and tenant protection laws in the state, as well as other crucial programs for lower income New Yorkers, or I would live to see a skyrocketing crisis of homelessness, of people having to decide between feeding their children or paying their rent, of people in panic and desperation over recurring evictions. I thought perhaps when I came here in 2002, we could accomplish those goals more quickly than we have. Instead, it took us this many years to get to this day. And during that time period, guess what, Mr. President? I was absolutely right. All the things that I have feared did occur. The homelessness rate in New York City is beyond anyone's comprehension of what it could have looked like when I got here in 2002. The desperation we heard from people throughout the state of New York in our hearings, as far as north as you could go and throughout the city and Long Island, that the crisis is there everywhere. We've waited too long. So much damage has happened. We won't be able to undo the damage with this law, but at least we can put a floor on trying to stop more harm coming to more New Yorkers. This is one of the most important pieces of legislation that will pass in this House in a very, very long time. I don't think it'll be the last very important bill, but it is perhaps the most important one I have been here for. And so I am very proudly voting yes. I will back up any argument that is made against any section of this bill, because each and every piece has been thoroughly vetted and discussed and analyzed, and what we are doing, perhaps not perfect, but in the best interests of, yes, all 20 million New Yorkers. It's not just the million who live under rent regulation now, or the more than a million in 900 and something thousand units. It's not just the other people who may be impacted by some of the tenant protections that go beyond just rent regulation. It actually is good for the entire universe of people in housing in the state of New York, because if you are avoiding throwing people out of their homes, avoiding such a overheated real estate market, you are actually holding the line for everybody a step above or a step above that. And so there's a domino impact when there's bad housing policy, and we saw that for 40 years. And I also believe we will see a domino impact for good housing policy and better protections for now and into the future. So again, Mr. President, really thank you to all of my colleagues and the staff for their work. And I've said to several people today, I just can't stop smiling today, Mr. President. I'm so very happy that we have come to this point. I vote yes.